G'day lads and ladies, this is S3KC coming at you from the Hypixel Network once again. We are going to be doing some Bedwars today, but it's going to be a little bit different. First I'm going to go over how I basically warm up in the start of a session, and it's going to go through how I prepare for my sessions, because I don't really like to go in to Bedwars completely unprepared. I usually do some warming up, do some duels first when I get on, get beaten a few times, but once I get used to gaming again, I usually, win a fair few games, I win a fair few duels, and then I go into Sky Wars, do a bit of there, get used to the whole more than one opponent thing, because that's a lot different from the single opponent that you have in duels. And then eventually I go onto my ult and do some solo bed wars and really get used to speed bridging and the whole intensity feeling again. And then eventually, once I'm sure I'm used to it, I get back onto my main S3KC, as you know, and then I will probably get invited to a party as soon as I or quite soon after I join the Bedwars lobby. And then eventually, if I don't, then I look at my friend list and get a few people up there. If, of course, none of those friends that are good, at least, respond, I will go to lobby 1 and, see if anyone from there will take me. But anyway, we're going to go through some footage for that, and I'm going to go through maybe some strategies that I use, and maybe even fighting styles that I use from time to time. Alright, let's do this. So, beginning it off in classic duels, I really like to do classic duels because to me it's a lot more realistic to the average PvP fight. There's usually, at least in Bedwars, not that much of a lot of healing, so it's usually, almost always, to be honest, a one death fight. Only one person dies and that's it. So I find that classic duels is much better than UHC in that way. Even though you can't use blocks to get used to the whole Bedwars feeling, that I think that's a necessary sacrifice. Because I'm mainly here to get used to the whole fast action, fast head turning, and reaction timing. That's what I use duels for mostly. I can use Sky Wars or other game modes for the whole building and that sort of thing. And if I'm really feeling into it, I might just do some UHC anyway. Yeah, I like to do this sort of PvP style where I'm block hitting, but I'm also W tapping. I find that's really useful in giving them, the opponents, a lot of knockback. That's always useful in a Bedwars fight. But it also helps in letting me stay out of their attack range. I find that with my ping, being Australian, it's more useful to be out of their attack range than to be far enough in their range that I can hit them easily. This way I can sort of, prepare that I can prepare in a way that, lets me see where they're going to be and guess, where I need to put my cursor so I can hit them the best way possible. Yeah, then I go into Sumo to get used to the whole W tapping only feeling, because bridge fighting is often a lot about KB and making sure you get as many hits of them as possible. And I find there's no real duel other than bridge duels that prepares you as well for it. I don't really like bridge duels because it's just so annoying, and the people on there don't play in a way that, you know, is similar to Bedwars. They're much more annoying on bridge. Anyway, once I'm used to the whole W tapping and KB thing, I go into Skywars and get used to this. I love Skywars because it really helps me get in the mindset that I'm going against a lot of different people, not just one person. And, you know, things are a lot more fast-paced in Skywars, which is always useful because most PvP games, they're quite fast-paced. And yeah, especially with these big maps, it's really good for speed bridging as well. Although, to be honest, I usually use the frog kit, so there's not, to be honest, much speed bridging anyway. But, you know, it's all useful. When I'm using speed pots, I don't really fight the same way. I basically don't use W tap at all because I'm going so fast around the player that I can usually just block hit it, and that does the same job. I really like block hitting because I know it's lazy, I know, but it's efficient and it does the job, and it's the way I learned to fight the most easily. So, you know, that's good for me. Yeah, when I'm doing Skywars, since I'm usually using the frog kit, I just try and go for as many people as possible, and usually when they are not obviously hacking, like you will see that this guy is. And of course, when they do start hacking, I kind of just give up, like I do here, because it's useless to go against him because I'm not stacked enough for it, so why bother? In this game it goes a bit better. Today I didn't actually win any games, but I was just trying to get this video sorted, so I didn't have much time or enough patience to get through a few games, so I just did as much as I could, and got a fair few kills, got ready for it, and yeah, this game turned out a lot better than the other one. I actually got a fair bit of stuff at mid. It was actually pretty fun, really. But I found these these three weirdos just hanging out in one corner, just like not actually doing anything. You'll see this later on in the video. They're just sitting around doing nothing, all in a group. They were, I don't know if they were cross-teaming or anything, but it certainly looked like it because they weren't actually hitting each other or fighting at all. Anyway, so there's this kid. He's obviously trying to trap me. Little does he know that I have far more snowballs than he does. Anyway, so yeah, the traps didn't work. Then I go over to these other people that I'm, you know, watching right now. I know that they're there, so I'm keeping my own eye on them. You can see they're not actually fighting, so I just go in for it. This guy actually gets a few good combos on me. I'm kind of embarrassed about this, but yeah, he actually does really well. And then I'm glad that I had strength because I would not have gotten him. And I almost get this guy, but unfortunately, he got the better of me just in time. So now you can see I've switched on to my ult. I'm straight into the game. I bridge over to the other team, hopefully before they've set up their bed completely, but in this case not. I attack them first because, you know, in my opinion, it's easier to get them out of the way first and then take out the bed. Unless, of course, you know, they haven't finished the bed yet, and then I'll do that first. But sadly enough, this guy walked straight through me while I was hitting him, which is interesting. But then I come back with a better sword and just combo him straight off. Then I go straight over to the other direction. I go diagonal the other direction, and go take the next person's bed. Go back to back to shelter actually. And this guy just decides to jump on me with all of his gear, diamond sword, diamond armor, while he's, a final, which is not the best idea. And I somehow, I don't really know how, managed to get him with that last crit. He mustn't have had any prot, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten that. And then the last player just walked off the map, of course. Then we go on to the new map. What's this one called? I can't remember. Anyway, this is probably my favorite of the new maps, simply because of the quick rush. Even if it's not a quick iron map, which would be really cool, that would be awesome, a quick iron map on this sort of format, that'd be great. Anyway, I combo that first guy off, and then go straight for the next island on my other side, take out their bed, and get just destroyed by them. Anyway, a few minutes later, I get to meet up with him again, and fortunately enough, he actually takes knockback this time, and dies because of it. Then I keep going that same direction, because there's only pink left. I try and get to him. I find out that he's got a lot of gear, and then so I go back to base, or to the temporary base at least, and get a invis pot and some diamond armor, take out the person's bed, and he just decides that he does not want anything of that, any part of it. Goes to mid, I follow him, and it actually took me quite a while to find him, really. It was a bit frustrating because he had, I think he was going around the same direction that I was going, just I was like on the other side of the map, so we were just chasing each other the entire time. It was quite frustrating, but we got through that, and I eventually found him, critted him, and got a few combos and won the game. So yeah, that's basically how I play and how I prepare during my sessions, and get ready for my 4v4s, because I'm basically only 4v4. I do duos, but I never play solos on my main, because I've lost far too many stats because of solos, and it just makes it even more difficult to heal afterwards. I have to get so many more finals in 4s just to heal that overall FKDR. Thankfully though, I'm still climbing my overall FKDR. For you that don't know, FKDR means final kill to death ratio. Basically means how many times you final die versus how many times you final kill. I use it as a measurement for skill. Other people don't, for whatever reason. I can't really understand what they base it on, because stars does not really equal skill. I mean, let's just look at the number one Bedwars player at the moment, Feticiera, I think that's how you say her name. She's got like a 2.5 FKDR, if that. That's like my level. No, I've got a better FKDR than her, so I could probably beat her. Probably. I mean, she's got a lot more experience, so she would probably be able to beat me. But I'd say we have an equal chance there. Either way, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you've had fun and you've learned something maybe. I I honestly hope that I can, bring some more knowledge to the table in another episode. We shall see. This was just a quick idea. I didn't have this idea originally. I can credit RKY for that one. He's mostly a ranked player, but he did a video similar to this a few months ago, where he's like a day in the life of RKY, I think it was. He just went through his method of warming up, and it turned out that it was basically the same as mine, except he uses UHC duels instead of classic duels, because there's a lot more healing in ranked than there is in normal Sky Wars and in Bedwars, especially since there's next to no healing in Bedwars, which I kind of like. I actually prefer that, to be honest. I find it a lot more fun. Anyway, I hope you've had fun, and I hope you're all taking care out there. Be safe. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.